Section 1. The river's grisly gift. A trash pickup that ruined everyone's day. Picture this. Singapore 2005, one of those squeaky clean cities where everything runs like a Swiss watch. Except the river sometimes cough up nightmares. A guy named Murugan is doing what he does every day, cleaning up the banks of the Kallang River, minding his own business, probably thinking about lunch. Then bam, his eyes land on this beat-up brown box just sitting there like some forgotten delivery. He figures it's just more garbage some lazy idiot dumped. He picks it up, and the whole thing tears open like wet tissue paper. Out spills a green plastic bag. Inside, a chunk of what looks like meat at first glance. But Murugan's face freezes. This isn't pork or beef. It's a human body part, sliced clean by something sharp. And the worst part? It's barely started to rot. This horror show happened hours ago, fresh as a goddamn bakery croissant. The call hits the cops on June 16th, bright and early. They swarm the scene like ants on a picnic. Kallang River isn't some quiet backwater. It's a bustling waterway right next to the airport, packed with hundreds of boats hauling cargo every single day. The killer tossed the body from a ship, good luck figuring out where. The river stretches over 6 miles. One wrong current and the evidence could be halfway to Indonesia. So the police do what they have to. They start grilling every boat log in the area and launch a massive ground search. Meanwhile, the clock's ticking because in this heat, bodies don't stay fresh forever. Just 300 yards downstream, they hit pay dirt again. Another box. They pry it open and there it is. A woman's torso wrapped in newspaper like some twisted birthday present. The sight is so brutal, even hardened officers feel their stomachs flip. But hey, silver lining in the bloodbath, her hands came with it. Fingerprints. They run them immediately while another team hunts for the missing head. Smart move, splitting into 2 crews. One combs the riverbanks, the other hauls ass to the incinerator plant. Because let's be real, if you're dumb enough to chop up a body and stuff it in boxes, you're probably dumb enough to mix it with the rest of the trash. And the incinerator? Oh man, 3 tons of garbage waiting to be burned. Finding a head in that mess is like hunting for a needle in a flaming haystack. But these cops don't quit. 6 grueling hours of sifting through filth and they pull it out. Same night they snag the lower leg too. Everything's lining up, except the feet. They tear the place apart again. Nothing. The feet are gone, vanished like they never existed. But the real kicker? Deep in the thigh stump, they find a tiny broken piece of metal. Looks like the tip of a knife. Whoever did this wasn't just sloppy, they left their signature right in the meat. By evening, the fingerprints spit out a name. Lu Hongmei, 22 years old, Chinese national who'd been grinding away at a local company for 3 years. Respectable, well-liked, no drama. Except the day before the body showed up, June 15th, she ghosts her night shift. No call, no text, radio silence. Cops roll up to her workplace, start chatting with coworkers. Everyone says the same thing. Nice girl, solid worker, no enemies. Then one guy pulls them aside, voice low. Turns out Lu had rocketed through 2 promotions in 3 years. Office gossip? He was sleeping with the boss. The boss in question? 50-year-old Yang Shaochu. Married, 3 kids, poster boy for family man on paper. But here's where it gets pathetic. Yang wasn't some silver fox charmer. Skinny, glasses, receding hairline creeping in like a bad investment. Co-workers swore he doted on his wife, handed over every paycheck, never stayed out late. How the hell does a guy like that bag a woman 28 years younger? The cops smell the affair from a mile away. And they know exactly where to start digging. Because if this family man was ballsy enough to risk everything for some office nookie, maybe he was dumb enough to kill for it too. The pieces are falling into place faster than the killer could ever imagine. A fresh murder, a missing woman, a suspicious boss with a wandering eye. But the real horror is just getting started. Because when they finally knock on Yang's door, the ugly truth is about to spill out worse than those body parts in the river. Section 2. The nervous boss and the bathroom bloodbath. When cheating goes full psycho. Alright, picture the scene. Cops roll up on Yang Shaochu, playing it cool like they're just checking on a missing coworker. Hey buddy, heard Lu Hongmei didn't show up for her shift. You two were pretty close, right? Anything you want to tell us? Yang plays dumb harder than a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Just colleagues, he snaps. But his body betrays him instantly. Hands shaking like leaves in a typhoon, cold sweat pouring down his face like he'd just run a marathon in hell. The officers zero in on his left middle finger. A fresh cut that sure as hell doesn't look like a workplace accident. When they press him about it, he yanks his hand away like a guilty toddler and mumbles, "It's nothing. Oh please." At that moment, every cop in the room knows. This pathetic, balding adulterer is their guy. They waste no time slapping a search warrant on his apartment. Door swings open and it's evidence jackpot time. Drawers reveal torn newspapers and green plastic bags. Exact match to the ones hugging Lou's chopped up remains. Then comes the murder kit. A rubber mallet, kitchen knives, towels. Best part? One knife has a tip snapped clean off, and lab tests confirm it fits the metal shard buried in her thigh like a twisted calling card. They even find bleach-soaked cleaning supplies everywhere. These aren't coincidences, folks. This is a man who turned his own home into a slaughterhouse and thought a little Clorox would make it all disappear. How incredibly dumb can one family man be? The bathroom tells the real horror story. They push open the door and get hit with the choking stench of industrial bleach, like someone tried to drown the evidence in chemicals. Under the toilet, hidden in a tiny crack, a 2-centimeter blood stain. DNA screams Lu Hongmei. Game over. Every single piece of this amateur hour cover-up points straight back to Yang. They haul his sorry ass down to the station, lay out the mountain of proof and watch him fold like a cheap lawn chair. He starts confessing, but only the parts that make him sound less like a monster. According to Yang, the affair kicked off in June 2004. He claims he was just being a nice boss to the hardworking Chinese girl who'd come all the way to Singapore. Bullshit. Night shifts turned into stolen glances, then stolen everything else. They started screwing in dark corners of the office whenever they could. It went on for a full year, risky, stupid, and apparently addictive. On the day of the murder, June 15, 2005, Yang's wife and eldest daughter were conveniently away in Thailand. The other kids were at school. Perfect empty house. He texts Lu to come over. She arrives at 9:50 a.m., and they jump straight into bed like it was just another Tuesday hookup. Afterward, they're lying there talking when Lu drops the bomb. "Let's end this. The sneaking around is exhausting. Come with me to China. We'll start fresh." Yang freezes. He's got the cushy Singapore life. Fat salary over 4 million won a month, happy family on the surface. Giving it all up for his side piece? Not in a million years. When he hesitates, she hits him with the nuclear option. "If we can't start new, then let's just die together. I'll go first." She grabs a towel, wraps it around her neck and actually starts choking herself. 20 minutes later, she's gone. Yang watches the whole thing, then chickens out on his own suicide. Suddenly death doesn't look so romantic when it's your turn. Instead of calling for help or feeling any guilt, this genius decides the smart move is to chop her up in the bathroom. He drags the body in, grabs a mallet and knife and goes full butcher. Guts first, sliced out and flushed down the toilet like yesterday's dinner. Then head, torso, legs. He wraps the pieces in newspaper, stuffs them in green bags, boxes them up. Her legs are too long, so he hacks them smaller. The whole disgusting operation finishes faster than expected. He pours bleach everywhere, dumps her belongings in nearby trash, loads the boxes into a taxi, and casually drives to the Kallang River to dump them. Then he goes home and cleans again, missing that one tiny blood spot under the toilet like the incompetent clown he is. That night at 7:30 p.m., this cold-blooded killer shows up for his shift like nothing happened. He even has the audacity to ask a subordinate, "Hey, Lu didn't come in for night shift? Call her for me." The sheer nerve. The hypocrisy. The dark comedy of a man who just dismembered his lover acting concerned about her attendance. But here's the thing. Yang only admitted to dumping the body. He swore up and down the death was a mutual suicide pact. Cops weren't buying any of that garbage. Neither should you. The lies were piling up higher than the trash in that incinerator. Lu's neck showed clear hand marks from being strangled. Nothing like a towel suicide. She wasn't depressed or suicidal. She was actually planning a future in Singapore, taking English classes, even thinking about marriage with someone else. Oh, and one more delightful detail. Yang had stolen her bank card. Not the first time either. This sleazebag had a rap sheet for swiping money from other women he'd slept with. He used her card to withdraw cash and go shopping while her body was still warm. When she noticed and told him she was reporting it, panic set in. That's when the let's die together fantasy flipped into better dead than caught. Section 3. From office romance to death row. The pathetic end of a family man. By now the evidence was ironclad, and Yang Shaochu's house of cards came crashing down in spectacular fashion. In May 2006 his trial begins. He stands there in court, still whining that it was all a tragic double suicide gone wrong. "We loved each other. She wanted to die with me. Give me a break." The prosecution tears him apart. Lu Hongmei had every reason to live. She was building a life, learning English, eyeing a real future with a decent guy 4 years older. Those handprints on her neck? Textbook strangulation, not some romantic towel game. The judge wasn't buying the sob story for a second. Yang gets the death penalty. Appeals? All denied. On November 30th, 2007, 2 years and 5 months after the murder, this 52-year-old father of 3 is hanged. Let's be brutally honest here. Did Yang ever actually love Lu Hongmei? Or was she just a convenient toy for his midlife crisis? He used his position to sleep with a woman almost 30 years younger, stole from her, then murdered her when the consequences got too real. The man who preached family values at home was the same one turning his bathroom into a chop shop. Pathetic doesn't even cover it. He dreamed of the perfect crime, clean, untraceable, no loose ends. Instead he left knife fragments in the body, blood in the toilet, matching bags in his drawer, and enough stupidity to fill a textbook on how not to commit murder. What makes this case stick in your gut isn't just the gore. It's the cold calculation afterward. After watching her die, he didn't break down or call for help. He saw her as a problem to solve, like a leaky faucet or a bad report at work. Chop, flush, box, dump. Then back to the office pretending to worry about her absence. The dark humor in that. A guy who couldn't even commit to his own fake suicide plan had zero problem committing to dismemberment. Singapore's justice system didn't mess around. Swift, decisive, no endless appeals circus like in some countries. They sent a clear message. You don't get to play God with someone else's life just because your side piece became inconvenient. In the end, Yang died insisting he was the real victim. Still playing the martyr right up to the noose. The man who claimed to love his family so much destroyed everything for lust and greed, then destroyed Lu when she threatened to expose him. She wasn't a person to him anymore, just evidence that needed disappearing. A young woman full of potential, reduced to trash floating in a river because one weak, selfish coward couldn't handle the consequences of his own cheating. So what do you think, folks? Was this really about a suicide pact that went wrong, or just another sleazy boss who thought he could murder his way out of trouble? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did Yang deserve the rope? Or is there any twisted part of his story that almost makes sense? Let me know. Because stories like this remind us that sometimes the most dangerous monsters wear office shirts, wedding rings, and fake smiles while pretending to be the perfect family man.